had a really great time partnering with AnyLog specifically and seeing exactly what we can do with the team here and deliver this for several different customers. So I wanted to call out a little bit about why this is a good combination and how this works. So our product line called DELL Distributed Private Cloud. It used to be called Native Edge. We just did a recent rebranding. But really the value here is the ability to deploy servers, workstations, x86 compute devices in a very simplified, easy manner. And what that looks like is the ability to, I like to use the analogy of deploying a smart TV. And that melds really well with EdgeLake and AnyLog's ability for this to, the ability to really create distributed data lakes in a very simple and easy manner. And so this becomes a very powerful combination. Are able to essentially have an employee plug it in and plug it in at the Ethernet cable and press the on button. That device will then call home and it will be ready to be deployed and ready to be used. With the AnyLog team, we've developed a blueprint, and think of a blueprint as a recipe for deploying the application, something an automation script that allows that to go very quickly, so that you can essentially deploy this as quickly as possible, and it turns into pressing a button rather than doing lots of manual work here. So these devices are delivered, you press and you plug them in, you connect them to the network, they deploy the OS of the device, and then they pull down the needed applications. This means that it's faster time to value. You can send less smart hands to these locations, and it becomes a very, very powerful solution in that regard. So we talked a little bit about that secure device onboarding and that zero trust framework. What I want to call out here is this is a nice diagram to show exactly how that is working. So we embed a unique ownership voucher on the TPM of these devices as they leave the Dell manufacturing sites. They are then, you then can drop ship them to the needed location. That unique ownership voucher is also loaded into that centralized orchestrator, that management plane. And then once the device is plugged and cabled and powered on, it'll call home. It'll do about 20 checks to ensure that it hasn't been tampered with. And then it will pull down the operating system and will also pull down the application set, the rules that you've created for those devices. So the power here is you deploy AnyLog to make sure that you're sharing all the data that you're gathering from these sites. Maybe you want to do some on-site inferencing on top of that. And so we also bring our own virtualization platform as well as native container runtime that you're able to layer these solutions on together and get as much value as possible